check. I check 1 2 1 2. Hello. Oh. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Hope y'all enjoying. Huh? You doing good? It's good, man. Hope y'all enjoy.
Mic check. Yeah, mic check, mic check, mic check. Coming out. Hello, how's everybody doing? Doing good? Mic check, mic check. Testing the audio levels. Yeah, that should be good. And testing the podium mic levels. Sounds pretty good. Podium mic check. Podium mic check. Levels sound good. Hope everybody's doing well, ready to see their friends and family graduate. Just doing a little mic check so everything sounds good for when we start. check 1, 2. Nice to see everybody coming in right now.
Check, check, check. Check. For me, I would say.
Another mic test. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you all for coming. I think, yep, Yep, that's good. Cool.
Okay. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Spring-Monetta Middle High Administration, faculty and staff, and students, I would like to welcome you to the Spring-Monetta High 2023 Commencement Ceremony. Graduation is a ceremony and a custom that dates many centuries. It is intended to formally recognize these young people for having reached an educational milestone. Here to participate in this special occasion are some distinguished guests on stage with me. We have with us from Aiken County Public School Districts, our Superintendent and Administration, starting with Superintendent Mr. King Lawrence, Chief Officer of Instruction, Dr. Amy Edwards, Chief Officer of Operations and Student Services, Dr. Corey Murphy, Chief Officer of Human Resources and Administration, Ms. Jennifer Hart, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Trey Traxler, Director of Communications and Community Partnerships, Ms. Mary Glenn Piccolino, Assistant Superintendent of High Schools, Mr. Berkeley Postel, Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Schools, Ms. Julie Reveley, also Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Schools, Mr. Eric Jeffcoat, and Assistant Superintendent of Middle Schools, Dr. Phyllis Gamble. Also with us from the Aiken County Public School District School Board, we have Board Chair representing District 9, Mr. Cameron Nessel, and also with our Area 4 Advisory Council, we also have Ms. Deborah Tyler, also representing with us from the school board. At this time, we would ask that you please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. You may be seated. We will now have the singing of our school alma mater by Ms. Trinity LeBrew.
On the ridge of Carolina lies the school we love. 'Tis the school we'll always cherish. Her colors blue and gold. I'll hail the alma mater, thy glory we will sing. Raise the chorus, beat it on, let our praises ring. This fine old school called Orison, with memories so dear, will always mean the world to us, though we are far or near. Now let us all in tribute raise our school in majesty. Sing our love to our ransom, all hail to thee.
Again, we would like to welcome you to our 2023 commencement ceremony. At this time, we will now recognize, and we would ask that you would, students, please stand as we recognize our honor graduates and our Seal of Biliteracy graduates. We would ask that our guests please save your applause until the very end so that every student name is heard. Starting with our honor graduates, summa cum laude, Chaley Emily Robb. Also summa cum laude, Avery Grace Watson. Magna cum laude, Kanan Martin Liggins. Also magna cum laude, Franklin Paul Starkey. Cum laude, Yasmin Malaya Zanaya Cannon. Also cum laude, Waylon Mark Cockrell. Cum laude, Chelsea Flores. Cum laude, Trinity Olandria LeBrew. Cum laude, Roberto Joel Leguzman. Cum laude, Elvie McDowell III. Cum laude, William Chadwick McKinney. Cum laude, Luis Mendez Perez. Cum laude, Tita Mendez Perez. Cum laude, Robbie Mitchell Jr. And cum laude, Larry Ethan Price. At this time, we will also recognize our Seal of Biliteracy graduates. The South Carolina Seal of Biliteracy advances the state's and Aiken County School District's commitment to preparing every learner for college and career readiness in an increasingly international community by recognizing learners who attain levels of proficiency in English and at least one other world language required in the global workforce. South Carolina is one of 40 other states who award the Seal of Biliteracy. To earn the Seal of Biliteracy, students must meet rigorous requirements and provide evidence of achieving the required level of language proficiency in English plus one more other language. Students must meet the rigorous criteria for both English and other languages regardless of the student's first language. In order to earn a bronze seal, students must demonstrate language proficiency in at least the intermediate to mid-range in all 4 domains: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. In order to earn a silver seal, students must demonstrate language proficiency in at least the intermediate high range in all 4 domains: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And last but not least, to earn a gold seal, students must demonstrate language proficiency in advanced low in all 4 domains: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. This year, Aiken County is proud to say that 63 students earned the Seal of Biliteracy, including 33 bronze seals, 22 silver seals, and 8 gold seals. Please join me in recognizing these students that have earned the Seal of Biliteracy. Roberto Joel Leguzman, Tita Mendez Perez, Jasmine Guadalupe Orozco Flores. Let's give these students a big hand of applause. We will now have our superintendent's address by our Aiken County Public School District Superintendent, Mr. King Lawrence. Students, you may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Webb. Congratulations, class of 2023. For many, many years, I've collected and enjoyed reading children's books, and I read them to children, I read them to classes, but I also like reading them to adults. And I think that as the class of 23, as you begin your lives as high school graduates, I want to send you off with a book called Maybe by Yamada. I think you'll like it. Have you ever wondered why you are here? You are the only you there ever has been or ever will be. You have so much to offer. Maybe you will invent something that no one has ever seen before. Maybe you will build things that reach high into the sky. Your life is yours. Try as many things as you can try. See as many things as you can see. Wherever you go, take your hopes, pack your dreams, and never forget it is on journeys that discoveries are made. Maybe you will help others to see the beauty in each day. Or maybe you will lift cheering crowds onto their feet. Do everything with love, follow your heart, and see where it leads you. Maybe you are here to shine a light into places that have been dark for far too long. Maybe you will speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Maybe you are here to help in ways that only you can. There will be struggles, there will be fears, and it won't always be easy. At times it will feel really hard, and you might make a mess of things. You may fall down. You may fail, but you will also get back up, and you will rise a little stronger and a little taller, because there really is more inside you than you know. And this world needs your gifts, your talents, your big ideas. And maybe you're just getting started. What if you're only scratching the surface of what you can do and who you can be? What if you have talents you haven't discovered yet? There's something powerful, even magical, about you. You already have everything it takes to do big things. Maybe you have no idea just how good you really can be, and maybe you don't know how much you matter. But maybe, just maybe, the world has been waiting centuries for someone just like you. One thing is for sure, you are here, and because you are here, anything is possible. Class of 2023, you have what it takes. Go out and make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. We will now have our Board of Education address by Area 4 School Board Representative, Ms. Deborah Tyler.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Superintendent Lawrence, to the administration, to Dr. Webb, and to the faculty of the Spring-Monetta High School. Most of all, to you honorees today, the class of 2023. It is indeed a pleasure to celebrate with you today. I might say it's a great day to be a Trojan. I commend you on your hard work that has gotten you to this point. I encourage you to carry that same mindset into your next journey. I challenge you to set goals, cross them off as you accomplish them, and then set another goal. Parents and family, I ask that you continue to encourage them as they enter this new phase of their awesome lives. Remember, no matter where you end up, never forget where you started. Never miss an opportunity to give back to your community. I'd like to leave you with a little story. It's a story about frogs that were in the forest jumping around, and as they were jumping, two of them suddenly jumped into a deep pit. So the other frogs stood around. Once they saw how deep the pit was, they told the two frogs that they couldn't help them. There was no way they could ever get out of that pit. So despite the discouraging words, the two frogs kept jumping. So the frogs at the top of the pit continued yelling, "Just stop trying, there's no use, you'll never get out of that pit. It's way too deep." So after trying over and over again, one of the frogs listened to the others, and finally he gave up. But the other frog continued to jump with all his might. He jumped even harder, and every jump got him closer and closer to the top until finally he jumped right out of the pit. So when he got out of the pit, the other frogs were standing around, and they asked him, "How in the world did you get out of that pit? It was so deep. We thought there was no way you would get out. In fact, we were yelling to just give up. Didn't you hear us?" So then the frog signed to the others, "I'm deaf." And then he says, "Thank you," with the biggest smile. Although I could not hear you, I could see you cheering me on and encouraging me to jump higher. So the moral of the story is, people's words can greatly impact your attitude and your actions. Ignore the naysayers. Only engage with those who encourage you and believe in your ability to succeed. Be careful what you receive from others. It could be the difference between success and failure. You are poised for success, and only you can change that. Congratulations, class of 2023, and be blessed on your new journey.
Thank you, Ms. Tyler. RSM class of 2023, you guys made it. Regardless of how you made it or how difficult your struggle, the only thing that matters today in this moment is that you saw it through and that you made it to the finish line. You guys have completed high school. That is an accomplishment that you should not take lightly and one that you should be proud of. In my final address as your principal, I decided that I wanted to write you a letter. Dear class of 2023, we met in August of 2019. You were just freshmen trying to figure out how to survive in high school, and I was a freshman principal trying to figure out how to survive being a principal. We started together in the old building at 10 JP Nice Drive. We both found ourselves learning our way around the halls and trying to remember where each teacher's classrooms was located. In January of 2020, we moved across campus into a brand new building and once again found ourselves trying to learn hallways and classrooms. 2 months later, we found ourselves in the middle of a global pandemic and face-to-face school was closed. We reunited sophomore year, but under difficult circumstances. School looked a lot different since we had last seen one another. For many of us, we were glad to be back together, but anxiety levels were high, and for many of us, the pandemic had took a toll physically and emotionally. We spent half the school year on a hybrid schedule and were separated by red and blue groups to determine which days we would see each other twice a week. Together we learned definitions of words like social distancing, asymptomatic, remote learning, quarantine, and you know the rest. Many of your sports seasons were cut short, and you had to play every game like it was your last because it just may have been just that. We ended the school year back on a traditional schedule and stayed that way to begin your junior year in 2021. 2021-22 was a good year. Things were back to normal, or at least what we had come to accept as the new norm. We were back in school every day. Athletic teams were able to complete full seasons. We were able to have programs and assemblies again, and guests were allowed back in the building. Some of you even made it to your first prom that school year. We had a good time outside under the stars that night. School finally started to feel like school, and we started to feel like a family once again. When we met freshman year, I told you guys that we would be family. And as you go forward in your life, know that your RSM family is proud of you, and we're pulling for you. I didn't talk about our last year together because honestly, it's been a blur. It flew by for me, and I bet if I were to ask, you would say the same for you. Our last year together has come back full circle, except this time I was trying to figure out how to be a middle high principal, and you were trying to figure out what life after high school would look like. Now that the time has come, and you are minutes away from being a high school graduate, so in the final minutes as your principal, I would ask that you do me this one last thing. Look around you. Look at your classmates. Look at all the people in this convention center that showed up to support you. Take this moment in. The reason that I asked that you do this is because just like the last 4 years at RSM, life goes by fast. Remember to pause, remember to look around, remember to enjoy the moment. I told you senior awards night that this class would always be special to me. This class will always hold a special place in my career and in my heart, partially because you guys stress me out more than the other classes. But on a serious note, know that I love you guys. I've enjoyed being your principal. I'll be praying for you, and I wish that you have nothing but the best success in the next chapter of your life. Sincerely, your principal forever, Dr. Webb.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, distinguished guests, and class of 2023. We made it. I'd like to take a moment to thank some key people who have made a big impact on my life. To my parents, thank you for loving me through all of the hard times growing up and for teaching me that you can only ever fail if you don't try. To the teachers, thank you for all the different kinds of lessons that you have given, for encouraging us to strive for more, and for helping us through times of some difficult adjustments. To the coaches, thank you for teaching us how to push through discomfort and disagreement to work towards a common goal, and for teaching the value and impact of good leadership. I would like to especially thank Coach Middlebrooks, because without him persuading my mother to let me play softball, I would never have been confident enough to make the transition from homeschooling, and I would not be standing here with you all today. Finally, I would like to thank my classmates, class of 2023. I may not have been here since day one and cannot share the memories from Head Start and elementary and middle school, the experiences that helped form us into the class of 2023, but you have welcomed me from my day one. You accepted me into the Spring-Monetta family, and the memories that we share are memories that I will cherish for a lifetime. As a class, we have supported each other through struggles and tears, and cheered for each other through successes and triumphs, always willing to come together despite the differences we may have as individuals. The trials and hardships that we faced have helped shape us into who we are, and today, I stand here as a proud member of this graduating class, without any answers to life's problems, but only gratefulness for the journey that we have been on together. Class of 2023, I love you all, and I wish you all the best as you continue on this journey called life. I'd like to end my speech with a benediction that comes from Numbers 6:22 through 26. The Lord bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. Thank you.
Hey y'all. I would like to thank all the teachers, staff, family, and friends for being here to celebrate with us and for helping mold us into the graduates we are today. We have been dreaming of this day since forever, it feels like. I think we might have been dreading it a tiny bit as well, but today is a bittersweet moment. However, it's mostly sweet. I would like to thank the Lord for helping us get here today, and I would also like to thank him for allowing me to give this speech as your valedictorian. Honestly, I've been praying about this since our 5th grade promotion to be exact, and I know what you're saying, Taylor, it's not that big of a deal, but regardless of your opinion, he gets all the credit for every good grade I ever made, and I'm only valedictorian because of him. I have a quote that relates to everyone in this building's life, but I think it's very fitting for this momentous occasion. Life moves pretty fast if you don't stop and look around once in a while. You could miss it. Ferris Bueller. I think today we need to reflect on the last 4 years, or even the last 13 years of our lives, because we finally have to let go of it. We have officially lost all our bursts of laughter in the middle of class, dumb high school mental breakdowns, deep conversations with each other that appear out of thin air, and for those of us attending school in the fall, the same people you've seen since kindergarten will not be there. We've always been hyper-focused on our future, and in that future, we'll probably forget a lot of the stuff that happened during high school. The times we made boring and everyday things fun. But I do thank y'all for the memories you gave me, regardless of how long I remember them. I know for a fact that we are ready for new and better things, but I want to stress that life does in fact move fast, and you are going to miss this at some point in time. Even if it's just for a moment, you are going to miss this. Now about our futures. When one door closes, another opens. There are 2 Bible verses full of wisdom that I want to share with you. The first is Deuteronomy 31:8. The Lord is the one who will go before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not be afraid or discouraged. Jesus loves you. He died on the cross for you, and I want y'all to remember when you are embarking on this new journey and things become scary, frustrating, or even amazing, the King of Kings is with you. And not only is he with you, he is ahead of you, leading the way. If you cling to him, you will always have light, even what seems to be total darkness. The other verse I have for you is the one that comes to my mind in any situation. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Don't be worried that you don't have all the answers. No one does, except God. I want y'all to remember, no matter what happens, God has a plan for you, and it is not to harm you. However, that does not mean bad things will never happen to you. This is a fallen world. But even in this fallen world, he gives you hope, and hope is an anchor for our lives. The Lord has a future in store for you. I pray that every one of you would listen to him and do what he's calling you to do. I know you're going to go out into this world and do amazing things, and I'm so grateful that I get to call you guys my classmates. Thank you.
Good job, Chaley and Avery. I would now ask that our Assistant Superintendent of High Schools, Mr. Postel, our Superintendent, Mr. Lawrence, along with our school administration team, please join me in the presentation of the diplomas.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Guests, we ask that you please hold all applause until all names have been called. Taquavius Deshaun Adams. Andrew Tyler Anderson. Noah Thomas Banks. Peter Ezra Matthias Blacks. Jaquan Kentrall Bowers. Joseph Lee Bush. Jamarian James Cannon. Yasmin Malaya Zanaya Cannon. Waylon Mark Cockrell. Lane Roland Coffey. Jeremiah Devontae Coleman. Isaiah Lava Cummings. Carmody Ashasia Davis. Chelsea Flores. Christian Logan Gentry. Daniel Aaron Gillen. Kylie Mackenzie Good. Cody David Hall. Tariq Kendall Harris, Jr. Tamia Ashanti Hill. Kinsley Marie King. Trinity Olandria LeBrew. Roberto Joel Leguziman. Kanan Martin Liggins. Tony O'Neill Liggins II. Ivan Jamal McAllister. Elvie McDowell III. Weldon Riley McIntosh. William Chadwick McKinney. Luis Mendez Perez. Tita Mendez Perez. Peyton Cheyenne Miller. Savannah Rose Minor. Robbie Darrell Mitchell, Jr. Jemiah Abigail Morris. Jasmine Guadalupe Orozco Flores. Jesse Leon Osborne Shari III. Amy Danielle Oxidine. Anai Jamil Pat. Caden Corey Pat. Yoritza Yamile Perez Bautista. Larry Ethan Price. Ariel Amalia Riviera. Shaylee Emily Robb. Catherine Rose Robinson. Cameron Nazir David Samuels. KG John Matthew Wayne Sin. Franklin Paul Starkey. Avery Grace Watson. Frances Marie Watson. Jaden Elijah Watson. Cordarius Quintavious Wicker. Soraya Kiosha Darashana Williams. Bradley James Wimberly.
Let's give all of our graduates one big round of applause. Class of 2023, please stand. Mr. Lawrence, as principal of Rich Spring-Monetta Middle High School, and on behalf of the faculty and staff, I certify that these candidates have met all requirements for the South Carolina High School Diploma, and I therefore confer upon them their high school diploma with all rights and privileges therein. Congratulations, graduates. You can now turn your tassels. We would like to thank all of you that came out to support our graduates. This now concludes our commencement ceremony. Again, congratulations, class of 2023.